Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Life Unscripted. In this series, I share with you how you can best become a student for life over academic session in order to achieve optimum success. And of course, like you know, life is unscripted. You just have to take up the discipline, that pen and paper to write yours. All right. Incredible. So today I'm going to share with you why you don't need likeness when you come into realization of the course of your life, and then what you actually need to build on that course after that realization. The previous series, we talked about how the true concept of being born again, which forms the need for you to understand what you should look forward to doing so that you can become a creator more than an initiator. All right. So, if it is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get a notification when the next content drops. If it is your first time on Facebook, hit the follow button because that is one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year and beyond. And I'm going to share with you why in this series. And you shouldn't be the only one here, because for people who have come into the consciousness of their course of life, right, they also need to be here. And you have been following through. I want to especially appreciate you. Today is the 22nd episode of the series, and I'm glad that you are following through to this time. All right. I also hope to learn from you. You can send me a DM through the link in my description or the link on my bio if you're watching on Facebook, or you drop a comment, and of course, I'm going to respond to each and every one of them. Feel free to also ask your questions and invite your friends, your concubines, your enemies, your neighbors, your colleagues, your mentees, and your parents, your guardians, because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. Tag them in the comment section as well. If you can't, copy the link and share as well. So going into the business of today, I want to show you why, when the word of God said a prophet is not respected in his own land, does not mean he is not loved, but he is not respected in his own land. That forms the basis of basic entrepreneurs who talk about the KLT factor in building, nurturing audience, right? They talk about first, secondly, you like, thirdly, you now be able to trust in order to make a buying decision. But then you may not necessarily want to go through the process of likeness because there is something that drives likeness, right? So you don't actually need likeness for people to buy from you. I will give you an instance. Your parents, they actually like you, but they are not your customers. They will be the least of the persons who buy from you. As a matter of fact, they will even be the major source. They will be the major source of you not even making progress at the beginning of your business, not because they don't want you to make progress, but because they see you as a family member. You should do it based on charity. Do you understand? So that course shows you that they truly truly love you, but they don't respect it enough to understand that in business this is what it is, and they have to adapt to the situation of things at the moment before the result begins to sprout. Same thing happens as an employee. You don't really need to like your boss to actually do what he asks you to do. The important thing is that the boss is interested in the result more than whether or not. He doesn't need to like you to send you message. You don't need to like him. Even most of us have come to a point where they do no longer have job satisfaction. Of course, there is no job that will satisfy you, but let me use that word because I know that is what you're going to relate with. That your boss, some of you have even come to a conclusion over your boss that it's not because of this common change that he's giving me. If not, I've left this company. You don't really need to like him, but you are doing it. But you are doing everything possible to stay on the job. What do you think that you truly need? Do you think you need likeness? If you need likeness, strangers shouldn't be your customers. It should be your family members, your concubines, or those people that you truly care. right? That truly love you. So first thing you need to understand in the realization of the course of your life and building on the foundations of it is not likeness. What you actually need is respect. When people actually understand, when people actually understand that they respect your values, they give this sense of acknowledgement to the depth of your thought, right? They have this thing that compels them to want to do business with you. And so you need to actually understand. You need to actually understand basically what these things actually mean. Because if you don't understand the role of respect in what you are building, you will be seeking for likeness in place of the respect that will draw the result. Because people are going to compel and get more attracted to like you more when the result is there. That's why all the time when you are seeking for likeness, you start living a life of pity. You start living a life of dependability. You start living a life that does not really, because all the time you need to understand that the rule of discipline demands that you do things even when you don't like it. So it's not all about likeness. You don't need likeness to actually build on the course of your life. You need respect, because what is going to encourage you commanding those respect is doing what is required, not what you like, in order that you will build the competencies, the work ethics, the surrounding that commands respect. And when people respect you, you can influence them. And when you can influence them, they can give you benefit of doubt by giving you their money to actually work on them. So they don't necessarily need to like you. They just need to resonate with the depth of your thought, connect with them. Because really, the first time people buy, they are not really friends, right? You need to understand that they are not friends yet. They are interested in their solution more than you yourself. So they respect the depth of your thoughts and you are resonating with their problem. That is why they can be able to give you their money to get that solution solved. Now, it is at the cost of that solution being solved that they respect you more and they would want to build on the relationship. So I wanted to understand that when you are building on the course of your life, you don't do things based on impression, you do things based on expression, because you know that you are building up on your own self respect. That is where you build your value system, that's where you build virtues, exoteric and extrinsic and intrinsic value system that helps you to command influence. So you don't need likeness, you need respect. That's why a lot of people who follow you online, it's not just because I just like this, I just like there's something you said that relates to their life that they are interested in. So they can be interested, but if they are not willing to respect you enough, they won't obey. As a mentor, they don't really need to like you to come close to you. They just need to understand if you have their technical know-how to come to you. So it is that level of depth of value that commands the respect for to draw people to you, right? And that is where influence begin to emanate. So beyond the impact that you are making, because coming on social media, sharing all of these things is very uncomfortable. I would want to sit at my own house, drink, enjoy my life. I wouldn't want to share this with you. But there is a lot of discipline that is going right there because of the love of impact that I have, and because I know this particular story is going to connect with someone. Not because I can't see you, I don't even know who is watching exactly, and I don't know what you are facing through, but from the depth of what I'm saying, you can connect to it to want to buy into what I'm doing. So you don't really need to like me to actually do that. I just need to be able to have the solution you are looking for to be interested enough to come into my space. So until you understand that, you are going to be waiting on your family members to support your business and you will never make progress. You will be waiting on your family members or your friends or people to agree with you before you go on to the course of your life. Life does not work like that. You don't need likeness. You don't need likeness. You need respect. And respect demands that you have the discipline to do what is required and not what you like. And like my husband shared with me this morning, he said, rich people want to be respected. Poor on the course of life. That is what is going to expand your realm of influence, and of course going to draw and attract those things that you actually want onto your life. I hope this makes a lot of sense. That is why we are building Confidence Global Champions. We are not doing things because we want to impress people. We are finding our expression and sharing the message to people who are willing to connect at different times in their lives. They don't really need to like us, but we need to do what we meant to do. Even Jesus, as strong as Jesus is when he came to the world for a particular purpose, for the fact of his purpose, he went to prayer even before he was crucified and asked God the Father, right? He asked God the Father, please take this cup away from me. He has seen the suffering that he's going to go through. He asked him, please take this cup away from me. But God, for the very first time, turned his back on him. Because of what? Purpose. It wasn't because he was hated, he was loved. But he needed to be able to build on the discipline to actualize purpose for his name to be glorified. And because God the Father understood that, that was why he turned back. So you need to understand that these things are the things that have happened. It's not new. You just have to come into this consciousness in order to build. And that is why we are building Confidence Global Champions. These are the leaders that are stepping into their place and out of the space in order to build their respect in the global space. And you want to be part of those persons. Type CGC in the comment section. If you want to have one-on-one conversation with me, of course, feel free. I can see Jacob Jackson. Yes, absolutely. Rich people love to be respected. Poor people want to be liked. So whether or not people like you, it's been a while. Let me know, how is the city of Lagos? How is everything? I've missed you actually. Thank you so much for joining. That is very, very key. So if you want to have one-on-one conversation with me, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the link on my bio. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the link on the description of my channel. And of course, if you know someone who needs to hear this, tag them in the comment section, or you copy the link and share to them so that they can be able to embrace this. You know why? The envy is less when everyone is succeeding. That's why when you come into a family and everyone is not succeeding, one of the things that is going to happen is that the only one who is succeeding is going to suffer against those who are not, because there is something about that richness that have not gone round. So for your network to actually grow with you, right, you need to actually share value so that they can be able to not be a burden to you, but to remain a blessing in your space. And as you do that, they are not going to forget the level of impact you have by doing that to them. And I hope you love them enough to be able to do this so that they can build on their self-respect and also expand and multiply that which they have identified themselves in the world for the purpose of their existence. I still remain your friend and your go-to-get entrepreneur and networking strategist, Mrs. 𝗟𝗲𝗦𝗀𝗧𝗏. And until I come your way again in the next episode of Life Unscripted, do not forget that life is unscripted. You only need the discipline to take a pen and a paper to write your own script. And it's time for you to live the life you are proud of and not the one people recommend. I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye for now.